Hi everybody, how's it going today? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, everything has changed a little. I'm moving things a little bit around, hopefully giving a little bit more screen time to the actual slides, pushing myself in the corner a little bit, and just oh, let me know what you think in the comments on how things are looking with the structure. They've changed the coloring themes for the news and all the slides, so I need to update a bunch of stuff. So I thought I'd do a few changes on my side as well. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. Let's get going because October 12th, it's a Thursday. Monster Strike news, lots of it today because we got hit with a big one right off the bat. We were greeted with the next collab in the world of Monster Strike. It will be Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. This is the second time we're getting Jojo's the anime Jojo's Bizarre Adventure in Monster Strike. This time it looks like it's revolving around part 3 of the Jojo series. The first appearance of Jojo, we got part 6, I believe it was. Very interesting that we get it again. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about it, and to be honest, I think this is not something you would have wanted to announce on the 10-year party anniversary, because that really would have kind of taken away from the actual Monster Strike aspect of the event. So I think it's good that they kind of like spaced it out a little bit. Not, I mean, of course, obviously, Tokyo Revenger fans out there, not a slight to you guys, but well, you know what the reaction people got. I think it was well thought out personally. So, anyways, but who cares about that? Let's get going and take a look at the Gacha monsters for the JoJo collab series here. So first, we will have Kujo Jotaro SC, and I believe SC is in reference to the part 3 series, which would be pointing to Stardust Crusaders, right? And of course, this is to distinguish between the Jotaro we got in the first instance of the collab. So very important that it is distinguished between the two. We'll talk about that a little later. But for the SC version, Jotaro is a water type monster, and here's his ability: Demi-Human Balance, Pierce. We've got Super Anti-Damage Roll, Super Mind, Super M, Fire Element Killer, and Long Speed Mode. On the gauge, you've got Anti-Warp, Anti-Transport Wall, Shield Breaker, and Wall Boost. Yep, that's 4 nulls on there, so that's really good. Special attack to the first hit enemy. Again, with always when we're dealing with collab characters, make sure you look at the official videos from Mixi to see it in action. We'll get the details of the actual strike shots later. I know I didn't do that for Tokyo Revengers because I've actually been waiting until the gacha was ready so that I could pull a little bit more. So I'm gonna have the information there, but usually I will have a rundown video early on in the collab life so that you can get an idea of how powerful these monsters actually are in game. But obviously you don't need to look up stats to see that his bump combo is insane. Luminous Ray, I mean, that's really strong, right? You know what that bump combo do with Yakumo wrecking stages, but on top of that, he also has Reflect Wall Bomb, which is really strong too. So he is, not only does he have a good place, right? He has, the Shinen Fire stage, right? He has a good place there, but the fact that he has Anti-Transport Wall means he probably has a very good future in him, especially with Super Mind, Super M, and a base, the base gimmicks like Damage Wall and Anti-Warp. I see a good future for him, so he does seem like a monster you want to keep an eye on for the future of this game. Next monster we have is Kaioin Noriaki here in the wood element, and his abilities, we've got a bounce type this time, speed type as well, with super anti-damage roll, anti-wind, counter killer, super laser stop M, and then on the gauge you have super anti-warp and anti-magic circle. Again, that is 4 anti-abilities as well. Strike shot, speed and power up, and once he's done moving, he'll do a follow-up attack to the first hit enemy. His bump combo has a lot of lock-on-y type bumps. We've got Super Pierce Weak Point Lock on Shockwave 5, as well as a 3-way follow-up piercing bullet. And I mean, those are both really strong bump combos. And again, having 3 antis is really good to see. Now, obviously, we're missing like the speed down walls or the transport walls, so the newer ones aren't here. But the fact that anti-magic circle there does mean, you know, I think he might have an okay future, not necessarily a solid future, as we are probably in the, you know, transport wall age right now. So we'll see. But last but not least, we have Jean-Pierre Polnareff here. He is our 3rd Gacha monster from this series, and he is also a balance type monster. Abilities here, we've got anti-warp, sorry, super anti-warp, anti-wind, regen M, and then on the gauge you have anti-speed down wall and anti-transport wall. And on top of that, you also have right position killer. So a very interesting set of abilities here. Wind, speed down, and transport wall are all there on top of warp. So, you know, he will probably see some love somewhere along the way. But strike shot, speed, and power up. And after he's done moving, he'll do a follow-up attack. Bomb combo, we got the Chozetsu exploding slashes along with some Chozetsu spark bullets. So we'll see how these characters size up as GameWith and other folks on the internets make their opinions heard of how strong they are. But definitely looks very nice on paper, I think. So let's see how it goes. And here are your 4 5-star monsters that will be part of the gacha. You'll get Mohammed Avdol in the fire element, and you've got Joseph Joestar in the dark element, which is interesting because in the first volume of the gacha, right? I think Joseph was part of that. We'll see. But never fear. Thankfully this isn't an alpha, you know, Halloween alpha gacha, right? It is on its own, so we actually do get some love for the older monsters. So Kujo Jolene here will be getting a Transcension Kai, along with her other buddies that joined in the game there. Jolene with her Kai form has super anti-damage wall, anti-warp, anti-magic circle, protection. That's all on the main. We have no gauge for her. And then her connect skill is super anti-speed down wall with barrier bestow. The requirement there is that you just have 2 or more non-blast types in your team, or a total luck of 100 or more. For her strike shot, speed, power up, and there's a follow-up attack to the first hit enemy, and then she will be invincible for a set amount of turns. And her bump combo, you've got super yo-yo, and yes, that second one, high plasma. You know how strong that is too with Yakumo. So very nice, very nice. I mean, it has to be strong, right? Just gonna have to see it in action. I do believe I have her on my alt account, so that'll be fun to try out. But yeah, that high plasma being there is really nice. Next up, we've got Kujo Jotaro here, right? And Kujo Jotaro is going to have his name is changing a little bit. You'll see that SO there as well. What was it? Something Oceans. Star Ocean? I forget. But it was Ocean, right? But again, it's just to distinguish between the 2 Kujo Jotaros. We have 2 of them now in game, and them having the same exact name would be probably no good for one other reason, which we'll talk about later. But let's take a look at his stats here. We've got super anti-gravity barrier, anti-magic circle, all element killer, gauge multiplier, retainment, and then on the gauge, of course, anti-block when you see that gauge multiplier retainment skill. But for his connect skill, right, we get some nice additions there. Anti-speed down wall, all element resist, strike shot turn axle, and the requirements there is 2 or more non-demi-human class monsters or 2 or more non-balance type monsters in the team. Strike shot is speed and power up, and there will be a follow-up attack after he is done moving, and he will delay enemies. And then his bump combo, we will get the first round spark in the super level, so that is technically new there. So we get that nice little mark, but we also have the Chozetsu splitting Pierce Shockwave 3 as well. So there you go. This is Jotaro's SO version, and again, completely separate from the SC version we talked about earlier. And last but not least, we have Weather Report. I think Weather Report was definitely left out to dry. I don't think he really got much use, and I also have him on my alt. But I don't know. Did he get any love? I don't remember. But bounce super balance, we've got on his ability super anti-damage roll, anti-speed down wall, bump combo boost M on the gauge, anti-block, and dash. His connect skill, we've got super anti-warp and strike shot charge M. And the requirements there is 2 or more balance types. Oh, that should say non-balance types. I'm pretty sure. So sorry about that. I'll fix that. Non-balance types or 1 or more pierce monsters. And that's right, because it's the ones that's not matching up with his ability. So I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that should be non-balance types. Strike shot, speed and power up, and special attack that causes status effects to enemies after done moving. And I believe we saw, what is it? Attack down, defense down. It revealed all the weak points. It increased weak point effectiveness. I forget if there was also paralyzing, but it'll be interesting because I think the last time we had those kind of like ability, status effects that come with you, some of them were guaranteed and the other were just like a random grab bag of what happened. So did they kind of like dupe us with the let's play video and pick the the ultimate, if you're super lucky you'll get all of these at once, or is it really going to be all of those at once? Because if it is a good majority of what we saw there, then this is going to be a really good strike shot, I think. But bump combo, we got all enemy super lightning and Chozetsu barrage shotgun as well. But I need to kick up the pace because there's still a lot to go through here. So let's go. The gacha will begin on the 15th and will last until the 2nd of November. And by the way, we do not get those 300 orbs anymore after this month. So don't have yourself setting up to be like, all right, I'm getting some free orbs. Let's do that again in November. It's not there anymore. So keep that in mind. But also, why, we were talking about the fact that Jotaro SO and Jotaro SC was so important, is that, of course, they are separate entities, so you cannot feed them to each other to increase luck, right? So because that distinction is there, don't go into that wrong mindset that is something you can do. They are completely separate, like we saw with Nezuko before, right? We had Nezuko as a drop monster and then Nezuko as a gacha monster. You couldn't feed those two together because they're separate. Now, yes, these are the same gacha monsters, but again, separate entities. Please be careful about that. And anytime you do a 10 pull on the gacha here for Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, you will get one of these lovely good job stickers. You will never get a dupe until you once you run out of them, you'll start to get in-game items instead. So if there's anyone in particular you really want, worst case you'll have to do 9-10 pulls, but if it's an enemy you love and you need it, so go for it. Also, it's a collab, so we're gonna get a paid pack. We got a special paid pack, and for those of you who are just starting the game, whether it's because of the 10-year anniversary or if it's because of Jojo, welcome. The items there are really helpful for you to get kick-started in the game, so it's not a bad proposition. I don't think it's that expensive either. I know they stopped putting the prices on here for whatever reason, but I don't recall it being that expensive. But on top of the items you see on the right, you do get an exclusive monster to this paid pack. This is the only way you can get this monster, is by spending real money in the game. And for this collab, we get Iggy here, which I guess is a nice, cute-looking dog there that you are acquainted with in the anime. Pierce Beast, speed type monster, super anti-gravity barrier, anti-magic circle, anti-transfer wall, avian beast killer M. On the gauge, anti-block and strike shot turn reducer. Strike shot is speed and power up and follow-up attack to the nearest enemy after moving, and becomes invincible for a set amount of turn. He goes into a dome or something. That looked pretty cute. And the bump combo, we've got the Chozetsu Rankidan. Rankidan, remember, is the random shooting of energy balls. It's pure luck where it goes. And also super wall set trident laser. But as always the case with these you know, paid pack monsters. They are nice to have, very good to get you kick-started with a limited box for newbies, but never something critical. So if you're missing it, you're gonna miss out. That is almost never the case, and I don't think that's ever happened. So if you do not want to pay, it's not necessary. But of course, if you are set on comping things from Jojo, keep in mind that this will cost money. And just in case some of you missed out on the previous appearance of Jojo's Adventure, the previous paid pack monster here with the Joestar family, you can buy it again. And actually, if you want to buy another copy, you can do that as well. So even if you purchased it the first time, you may repurchase this pack to get the rare situation of 2 paid pack monsters. So, and you probably want to keep it separate. I don't know if you want to feed them to get to 10 luck, because it's never going to go to max luck. But the option is there for you. Now, let's take a look at the event monsters that we will be farming for this collab. We've got Talents T Darby here in the fire element. We've got Pet Shop in the water. We also got Oingo and Boingo in the wood element. And we also have Anubis and Maraya there as our 4 5-star monsters that should be available at all times, but will be nice and easy to complete. These 5 quests will be available starting the 15th when the collab begins and will last until the end November 2nd. And again, for those of you who missed out the first time around, you can play some of these old quests in the library. Of course, the Chokyu Kyoku quest will not be there, as is tradition for these revival kind of quests, but your standard mission will be available and you have the opportunity to farm them if you please. And that's not it. We still get some new content with the collab. We are getting a new Guardian Beast here, the Shugoju. You will be going against Hierophant Green, but do note that Hierophant Green is not the Guardian Beast that you collect from the stage, which we'll talk in a second. But remember, when it is a collab, you do get double the drop rates for those shards. I don't know if you've actually tried to do them when it's not double rates. It is absolutely terrible. On top of that, you can use biscuits while the collab stage is up, which again just makes the pain go by faster. I absolutely hate grinding for this, but you know, it is an absolute necessity because of well, it's a limited time, it goes away. You do not want to fall behind on the shards, so don't miss out on this double, and the cookie is super important. The person you do unlock with defeating this Guardian Beast, right? The Hierophant Green. By defeating him, you will unlock Star Platinum, and that will be your Guardian Beast. His ability here is to reduce all enemies' HP by a set amount based on your level, and there is a % chance that you will delay all enemies on screen by 1 turn. This is, yes, Kyubey and Puck with a different requirement, and the requirement here is that you have HP less than 40% at the start of your turn, and you need to do that only once. Once that happens, you hit that critical mass, you will be able to use this anytime during the stage. So you know, it's definitely situational which quest you might need, right? Puck is, what was it, hit based? Was it hit based? No, it's like taking down monsters at the same time or something like that. One of them is like you got to take down 2 monsters at the same time 5 times or something like that. The other one, you have to get a certain hit amount. This is just another option, and certain stages might be easier to get to this requirement than others. So, you know, it's not bad, and yes, it's like, oh, it's the same thing again, but it is that powerful, and it's not bad to have options to get that. For those of you who missed out on the first round of Jojo, you do get the opportunity to farm Foo Fighters here, who was around the first time. I don't remember what his ability was. They didn't go over her abilities in the news, so maybe I'll try to pull that for the rundown video. But do note that your progress from volume 1 is carried over, so you can't re-farm this stage. If you already did it, you are done. Nothing more you can do. Stop. But do note, and this is a very important point, that the revival stage here is not taking advantage of the double drops for shards. So you are going to have to play this with the standard drop rates, which again, like I said, quite painful. Insidious Quest, we've got Vanilla Ice as our enemy, and Vanilla Ice will be one of those farmable type Chokyukyoku stages. Everybody is considered as a max luck, so just bring your OPs and farm away. No need for max luck monsters yourself. Just use power to take him down and farm him to max luck. And we got a little small event here that we can be giving coffee gum to Iggy. You shouldn't actually be giving gum to dogs, right? I don't think so. But twice a day you can give Iggy here a piece of coffee gum. You can do it twice a day, and that the amount when you can give Iggy some gum refreshes at 4 o'clock twice a day. So 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. Japan time. That's when this ability to give coffee gum resets. You can see there's the affinity gauge there on the bottom. As that affinity gauge increases, you will get more and more rewards, which includes another mission reward monster, and this time you'll be getting Kujo, Jotaro, SC, and Iggy. And again, this is separate from all of the other Jotaros we've been talking about before, so only these monsters can feed to themselves. Please keep that in mind. But you can see a lot of nice rewards. You can get up to a total of 100 copies of him this way. A nice little badge for hitting the max. But of course, feeding 10 gums to Iggy there will get you a connect scroll. And let me reiterate to all of you out there who maybe not even know what this is, make sure you stay on top of this. This is a very rare item. Maybe it's going to get less rare now that we're always going to have Transcension Kais going forward. But make sure you get this. To be able to get one of those by only clicking a button 10 times is quite amazing. So please make sure you pick that up. Login bonuses. On day 1 you will get your first copy of Jotaro and Iggy there, which will be nice, and which means anybody can take advantage of it real quick. And day 2 and 6 you'll get a Tokugawa, which gets you 1 free pull, single pull on the Jojo collab. Always nice to get a freebie here. And of course, as usual for collabs, any monsters that you buy from the pay pack, whether it's the new one or the old one, will function as a max luck during the collab. Oh, and of course, the mission drop monster Iggy with Jotaro there will give you max luck bonuses for the club. So that's it. Again, the collab begins on the 15th. That's not too far away, so hopefully you've wrapped up all your work with Tokyo Revengers, because there's no time to breathe in Monster Strike. We're going straight to Jojo. Now, let's go back to regular Monster Strike stuff. Hopefully you didn't forget that Roll will be rolling on in tomorrow for the first time, October 13th. 7 p.m. Japan time will be his debut. We'll see how that stage goes. And because it is a Bakuzetsu quest, we of course have Treasure 9 available. Make sure you don't forget, at least play enough so you can get some of those rewards, because those items are nice to have. And you also get a nice good job sticker. And of course, hopefully you have not forgotten about the fact that the Toku L Ableberry event is available. Every single drop that you get in that quest is guaranteed to be a Toku L level, the Exploding Berry. It changes which element stage you can play each day. Today, at least when I'm taking this video, it is the Dark event. Tomorrow we'll have the Light, and then we'll finish off with the Water Temple quest. Remember, you can only host once per day, but if you can manage to find somebody to join, and it is very hard to try and find a quest to join, you can play more than the hosting amount that you have. You can try to ask on Discord too to see if you can make a group of people to share your Ableberry quests. And Uncharted Land, we have finally hit floor 50, and of course once we hit that 10 mark we get a new monster that we can start farming, and starting from the next set of floors we will be able to collect Claramis here as our Uncharted Lands monster. And of course you will be able to unlock her abilities by playing the Uncharted Lands month in, month out. Eventually, you'll get enough to max luck her as well. So don't miss out on that. Now, we did get a peek at 27.0 updates. We now have a date on when this will be active. It will be on October 18th, midnight Japan time. This is one day later than our usual maintenance days, right? Usually it's on Tuesday Japan time, which is our Monday morning, right? I think, right? So keep that in mind. But we now know that all of those orbs that we were talking about, the normal quest refresh, the library refresh, that is going to happen on the 18th. So that is your deadline to do all of this work to collect any orbs that are still sitting there that will be refreshed. And again, if you don't do it by then, you're gonna lose the opportunity to pick up those orbs. There's a lot of nice things coming up, right? Not just now, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff leading up to the New Year's that you're gonna want to have orbs for. So take advantage of it before it goes away. Don't lose the fact that how much do I still have on the library? Let me see on my home screen. I still have 600. No, I just got new data push. Great. So I can't see right now, but I think I still have like 500, 600 orbs left to farm. And 100 megabytes. Wow. Okay, that was a big push. Oh, probably for the collab. So anyways, there's a lot of orbs at stake with the normal quest, with making sure that you're co-oping with new people. Remember, you can't do that all in one day anymore. It's a slow grind since they've revamped that series. Don't miss out. Free orbs, passing on free orbs is not recommended. For those of you who pay for the login stamp premium, we are going to have the discounted rate for 1 month. You can purchase this. Normally it costs 1,000 yen. You can get this for only 480 yen, and basically this gives you an extra orb on login every day. And you don't get it all at once. It's a slow trickle, but maybe it helps you to actually save those orbs for something later. If that is something you interests you, you can do it. Again, it's only once you get at this discounted rate. If you want to continue doing it, it does cost 1,000 yen, but something to think about. Food for thought. This one actually I think is really nice. If you go to the your item screen, you can see that there's like 4 different things that you have to go through to try and exchange items for. They are now going to collapse that into one menu item for just a general exchange store, I guess. And you can see on the screen there in the middle, there'll be tabs on top that allows you to switch between those different menus, which were actual physical separate menus on the monster screen before. So that is a nice update, I think, just having that all collapsed and just switching by tabs on the top. Great, I like it. Another big update, I think a lot of people will be happy with this, especially with the event that's going on right now. I think a lot of people were probably frustrated that this doesn't exist already. Is that when you are trying to wand a berry to another monster, you had to have already had the slot available for that monster when you get to that screen. Now you will be able to use a scroll on the screen directly, so that you can just say, okay, I've got a berry, I want to switch over. Oh, I only had 2 slots for this. Dang it. That's okay. Now you don't have to go back, go to the scroll screen, find that monster you wanted to give the berry to, go there, go back to the wand menu, find your original monster again. That's all gone. Now you can just go in here when you're wanding it. It's like, oh, okay, I still have an available slot. Hit that button on the bottom right, use a scroll, give it that 3rd slot, and you're done. You don't have to go back. Thank you. This is the kind of UI updates that we want to see. And that's actually it. There's a few small things, but we'll do that on the update rundown when it happens next week. Here we go. This is a lot of fun. Number 9, the celebration event for 10 years. 200 pulls for the Gacha Ridora Rush. What is Gacha Ridora Rush? Well, basically, the gist is tap the screen enough times to get up to 200 pulls for free. Let me say that again. That's not a typo. 200 pulls for free. Huh? Well, let's take a look at how this works. Literally, tap to win. If any of you out there have played Kotodaman, they do this occasionally, and it's pretty fun. I will admit it is a lot of fun to do this. It does put the power in your hands, and it's not impossible. It's very doable. But basically, you'll have 4 buttons on the screen. One of them will be lit, and it is up to you to tap that screen as fast as possible while that button is lit. Note that it's gonna move around, so you can't just be like doing this blind. You'll have to be like, okay, now move, now go over here, and then now it's the top right, and now it's the bottom left. It's up to you. You're gonna have some hand-eye coordination to make sure that this is doable. But every time you hit that button correctly when it's lit up, you will get 1 pull banked in your bank on top, right? You will have 25 seconds to do this, and the maximum you can bank is 200 pulls, right? So every second you need to be able to hit the button 8 times. Sounds a little hard, maybe. Don't worry, we've got the rush time. So we said 25 seconds is the time you have allotted. The last 10 seconds is rush time, and when rush time is active, that button turns into a rainbow button, and every time you hit that button, it gives you 2 gacha pulls to bank. And this is, where you need to make sure you don't screw up here. But every time you hit a button now, you'll get 2. And so this will rack up, and this is where you're going to be able to hit the limit. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it is absolutely doable to get the 200. And the great news is you can do this as many times as you want, right? Now, I would be careful, especially if you cannot read Japanese. There's probably going to be a button there that says confirm, right? And then whatever your result was, you'll be able to confirm, lock in how many pulls you have banked up there, and then you'll be able to go to the gacha screen to actually use the gacha pulls. So be careful about that. If you have any questions, that's where you go to like the Discord channel, and people can make sure that you don't click the wrong button, right? But there will be another button there that says redo, and maybe you have to do a tweet or a post, whatever they're calling it nowadays. Maybe you might have to watch a video before you can do it again, but I mean, you can get up to 200 pulls here. You better do your best to make sure that all you're doing is tapping. I mean, 200 pulls. That's insane. For free? And you know what's even more insane? Limited monsters are possible in this gacha. So you're going to be able to do 200 pulls for free. And in those 200 pulls, you could get limited monsters out of that. Wow. That is amazing. I don't even, like in Kotodaman, when they did this event, like the newest, strongest monsters aren't actually part of that gacha from this, tap event. Look at the bottom right here on the banner, right? You see, was it Nijima Sae, right? The newest green fantasy monster. She's in there. The newest monster is in there. All the limiteds are possible, basically. Right? Yeah. So, 200 free pulls just by tapping. That is amazing. One little thing. There is no guarantee you're going to get anything. Worst case, maybe you'll get a bunch of bakshis. That could be possible. But you're not guaranteed to get a 5-star monster. But it's 200 pulls. The game is pretty nice about the rates, right? 12%. So you can do the math. Anyways, we have one celebration left in this whole event. What could it be? 200 pulls is pretty insane. I see a lot of sparkles on that last one, so let's see what it is. Probably next week, maybe the week after. But we have one last event. And before we call it a day, we have Transcension Kais for Tokugawa, Ieyasu, Pierce, Super Speed, Cosmo. Ugh. What the heck? But ability: super anti-gravity barrier, anti-transport wall, light element resist. Connect skill: super mind, super L, bump combo boost, wall, strike shot, turn reducer. And I actually initially like, oh no, it has the katsu in there, which means and. But on closer inspection, one non-Cosmo class, that is going to be basically a given. I don't even know if you can name off 3 other Cosmo classes that's going to cause a problem here in whatever state. I guess if you were trying to do all Ieyasu's, but you can find one that's non-Cosmo, and you also have to make sure that you also have a non-speed type monster in your party. That might be a little bit more painful to deal with, but essentially you can think of it as a one requirement, because non-Cosmo class, strike shot, you'll go through the wall and you will bash the first hit enemy, and then once you are done, you'll actually fire a laser towards all the different enemies. Interesting, situation that you could get yourself into, like behind the boss and then just fire against all the other enemies on screen. Who knows? But the bump combo, very interesting. We've got double Choza to pierce homing. We've got 12 in the dark flavor and 8 in the wood. That's going to be pretty strong, I think. So we'll have to see how that comes into play. Yeah, I love seeing Chosen to pierce homing, because you know what that means for a certain character. I want to see more of it though. But anyways, wow, this is almost 40 minutes. I apologize. But next Monster Strike news next week, same time as usual. Here's your lucky monsters, and well, if you are still here after 30 plus minutes, thank you. Wow. But there was a lot to talk about with all the collab stuff and, a lot of stuff. Updates too, right? Anyways, thank you for watching. If you're still here, come on, you can give me a like, give a comment as well. And if you have not already done so already, hit the subscribe button. This is the best place to get news in English for you. To make sure you don't miss out on anything in the game. Monst on Twitter /X. Discord channel also available. If you're still looking for people to do the co-op gacha pool, please be patient. Take advantage of the forums that we have set up. I'm trying my best to coordinate all the people who are still struggling to find, a group of 4. Make sure you maximize your results there. It's a big opportunity to get some good monsters. Hopefully. Well, don't watch my video on that. Anyways, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.